All right, everyone. We just went through three wormholes to get to a dimension within a dimension within a dimension. And we're hanging out in space waiting for a shuttle to arrive. Aha. I think something just came in front of us. Again, this is the cloaked shuttle, so I just feel an energy density ahead of me now. I felt a wave of movement, but there's an energy density. I can also tell everybody that when we took off from the upper world today, I am shielded in a cloak, which provides me with an energy signature protection. So it's a cloak of invisibility, but it's also, they gave me a cloak with nourishment, that with the right oxygen and gravity and everything that I would need to support my field as closely to being on Earth as possible. And there were 5 Sophia dragons, which Sophia dragons go in between light and density. And so they are helping to triangulate. So we are on some kind of a mission that we need to be triangulated from. Aha, one of those doors just came out for me to hop onto. I hope this is one of those ones that pull me in. I could just, oh, yay, it is, isn't it, Gilly? Ah, thank you. You be safe, my dearest friend. You be safe. All right, I'm getting in, and
I love you
hold
all.
on, Mark.
Okay.
Mark, okay. I didn't get to them yet. They're not here yet.
All right.
I am. Okay. All right. I'm in. Yeah, that's the worst time to say anything, Mark, because I'm trying to get into. I'm in the middle of space. Okay. What happened? Where am I? Delete took off. Okay, closed. I'm in a very, very dark chamber. Very dark. Oh, okay. There's that cold film. Yeah. Oof, the decontamination chamber. Oh, man, that goes through the bone. Now it's opening on the other side, and I'm walking through. Wow, I thought this was the shuttle I've been in before. I don't recognize anything that's going on. So, I just came to another door. It's that last one. Okay, the last one's closing. And now this one's opening. Galilee. Thank God I finally... Thank you. Hi. That was a little eerie. Karen, we're in a field that is potential for contamination, and especially because it is not aligned with you on Earth. And we wanted to make extra sure that we got you cleansed and cleared of any energy in the field that you arrived in. Okay. And is it correct that we are in a dimension within a dimension within a dimension? Yes, it is. Clear. Carrie. Hello, Sari. Hi, Villaim. Namaste. Namaste, Ambassadr Kassander. Thank you. Namaste. Hello, Mark. Hello. We
Well,
welcome you both here.
namaste. Love you all.
You are greatly appreciated as well here. All right. So, Ambassador Kassander, are we on another spy mission? Is that what this mission is about? Yes, it is. We have received more intel about those bases, and we wanted to come back. The bases that have the skeletal beings, the skeletal robots, we have been able to achieve more information about that based on our last mission, and we wanted to follow up and find out more. We have more understanding of what they are being used for. So, have a seat, and we're taking off. Oh, yes, we are. Whew. We just went into hyperdrive. And Galilee, so the dragons will be triangulating for us again. Yes. We'll have to be extra careful. That's why we got 5 of the Sophia dragons. When they go in and out of light, they can totally change the wave pattern and frequency. It's an amazing event to watch when you have the right meters and scopes to see it. But we have watched them do this, and it's just phenomenal. They just create an energy wave pattern in the lattices of the field that are causing this effect to just disassociate from one another. And it looks like they've not even been there. It's amazing. It's an amazing accomplishment for their energy systems to be able to do that. We are learning so much from them, and hopefully can maybe figure out a technology that we can create that for ships, for all beings to utilize. How safe is that? If our energy field is connected to that cosmic lattice and we disconnect and disassociate from it, how safe is that? Because isn't that what holds our energy field and balances it? I've just been reading about that. Yes, Karen, it is. And it is something that we have to make sure is safe. Because as you know, with the time travel experiments done on Earth, it was not safe, and beings were left half in one location and half in another. Okay. Yes, that's the Philadelphia experiment, if anybody wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. And also the Montauk experiments, too, which had a lot to do with that as well.
That was another form of time travel that was attempted to be used, yes. There's so much more in the Montauk project that happened. It's really quite evil. So, okay. The Montauk projects actually opened a portal into another dimension that they couldn't close. And it let beings come through. That the Stranger Things, Netflix's Stranger Things, kind of really clarifies it. It's amazing. It's really disclosure of how much that's accurate. So anyway, back to this mission. We are ripping through space and time. So now, Galilee, let me ask you this. The dimension that I arrived in, are we staying in that dimension, or are we leaving this dimension as well? We are leaving this dimension as well. Wowza. Okay. I just got that sense we were going into another dimension. Okay, there we go. We just entered into a wormhole. Wow, the ship shakes as much as I do when I'm on Gili. Yikes. Is that just me feeling the movement of the wormhole? you're feeling the force and the power and the velocity at which we're going through the wormhole, Karen. That's what makes you shake and vibrate. Yes, it does. I literally sit in this chair, guys, and shake like I am being vibrated. Okay, we're still going through this. I'm still vibrating. And I'm going to be yawning because this is really taxing my energy field. Every time we go through these, it disconnects me from my field on Earth, and I have to recalibrate my energy. Now, I have this biofilm on, which allows me to do that, but it still it's taxing. It's very taxing for my energy. Okay. Calm down. Okay, we arrived, didn't we? Yes, we did. Carrie is shaking her head. You are so energy sensitive, Karen. It's amazing. It's become second nature to all of us, and we watch you and go, huh, guess we are moving that much. Yeah, I feel it immensely. But then you guys live in a different vibratory field, right? Yes, that's the distinction, Karen. You live in a very gravitated dynamic of energy where we do not. Ours is much more it fluctuates much more. And it's a higher vibratory field so that when we go through these, we are more aligned with this wormhole vibration than you are. You're still really very much in 3D on your planet. To exist and live on the surface of Earth, you have to be in 3D because the matrices are still so strong. Even with all the work that Mark and I do and many others, I mean, we've worked constantly on that 3D matrix. I'm constantly blaming it and replacing it with light kosher food, ascension energy, and 5D matrix. Yes, you are. And think about a road, and that road is starting to get rutted on Earth. The other one is still a strong rut. So keep building it, keep building it, keep building it, keep building it, keep building it. It's like a neuron pathway. You have to keep building it to get it stronger and stronger and stronger until it becomes the automatic path that's used continuously. Keep doing your work.
So how effective is the work that Karen and I are individually doing, as well as the rest of collective humanity that are in alignment with our higher intentional work?
As Father God just mentioned to the two of you, you are making headway. You are moving forward. And to bring up for all the listeners, let me share part of the conversation that Karen and Mark just had with Father God before they came to this mission. There is a movie that has been released on your planet, The Sound of Freedom, that is bringing forth the awareness of how infiltrated and that's not the word, how expansive child trafficking has become and how greatly it has infiltrated all of society, and that America is the number one source for purchases of children and sexual abuse to children. This movie is profound in not only waking people up, but as Father God explained, the more that this movie gets out there, the more that this conversation grows and expands, it empowers fifth dimensional energy. So the more people who wake up to this issue, the more greatly it feeds 5D, the shift of ascension. It lifts everybody to a new level of ascension that wakes up to this awareness and says, no, no, no. Our children, God's children, are not for sale. The more people who say that, the more that you lift out of the tyranny of 3D. It is literally a way. Talk about a neuron pattern. It is a way to shift the consciousness of humanity on your planet right now. The more that you say, no, you will not abuse our children. No, you will not abuse our children. You lift in vibration. Each person lifts into their ascension energy and field. That is the largest tyrannical matrix, the most evil that is happening on your planet, the most evil and satanical. The more that you say no, 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 that matrix loses power. You're unplugging, unplugging. No, 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 no. Think about unplugging, 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 unplugging. And you're plugging instead into our children will be safe and free. That's source. That's love. So not only will this movie cause an expansion of awareness, it will cause an expansion of fifth dimensional vibration. There's the power. If you haven't seen it, see it, support it. There's the power. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Ooh, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, that's very powerful. And we'll do a lot more than that in the near future, too, that needs to be brought to light and publicly.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I now know what the wise one's message is going to be. Okay, thank you. Oh, we arrived somewhere. Yes, Karen, we arrived a little while ago. But the conversation was too important for me to interrupt, Galilee is saying. Okay. So Villaim and Ambassadr Kassander are setting up right now. They're getting the computer activated, the screens activated. Galilee, can you share with the audience what is going on? What are we here for? What is it that we wish to find out? And where are we? Are we in the same dimension as before? I'm not remembering if it was third or fourth that we were in before. No, we were in fourth before, Karen. This is third. Oh, wait. No, we flipped another dimension. Right? Yes, we did. But we're still in third? We flipped back into third. Oh, goodness gracious. So we went to fourth, and then we came back to third. Yes. All about energy signatures, Karen. Wow. Wow. All right. Darn, I wish I would have been better at physics. That was like another language to me in 12th grade. Okay. So now, we are in the third dimension. So this is a different dimension than we were before. Did we find these did you find these skeletal beings in other dimensions as well? Yes. Oh, goodness gracious, how many other dimensions? Too many. Too many to name them all.
Have you found
Really?
the problem for AI that they are attempting to connect and control all of them?
Good question, Mark. That's what we're here today for. Very good. Huh. Wow. So I take it Commander Z, his teams have formulated this information to discover where they're at. Yes, actually, the good news that we can report to everyone that Commander Zillion's teams, his teams are brilliant. I just need to. We're all in awe of his teams and their brilliance and their talk about understanding of physics, quantum dynamics, quantum mechanics, the interconnections of the lattice and the field and the magnetics of the field, and they're just amazing. They talk over my head so many times. I just kind of watch the words go by. It's quite phenomenal that they have the massive understandings that they do. Their minds are like computers, quantum computers calculating. Are we sure they aren't quantum computers? Galilee's laughing. Ken, I've asked that same question. We all have. Terry and Suri are laughing. We've all asked that same question. And to date, we can't determine that they are quantum computers, but it's almost like they have a link into a quantum computer in their brain, like a chip that allows them to connect. That's what we can tell you. But because of their abilities, they determined the frequency of these skeleton robots. And because they could determine the frequency, they can locate them anywhere with their computer mounting devices. Now, if they can determine a frequency that easily, how can they not determine mine or yours or somebody else's? Because they have designed the actual films, biofilms, and that's part of what you got sprayed with, Karen. When they decontaminate, when we're decontaminated, we are also then surrounded, which surrounded your already cloak that you have. Wait, it surrounded it or put a new one? I'm getting an image of both here. Which one did it do? Did it clear the cloak I had on and then give me a new one? Yes and no. It cleared the cloak you had on, and then it added back the cloak you had, plus the additional field around you, biofilm around you. That is why you were in the dark so long. That's why you were confused about what was going on. Very cool. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Wow. Wowza, wow. Wow.
So how much does our Space Force know and understand with any of this and the type of wormhole traveling technologies that we experienced?
Hopefully none of it, Mark. We don't trust the Space Force to know that information.
Understood.
Yeah, very understood. I wouldn't trust humanity or humans with that knowledge. No. It would be too easily sucked out of them and used for bad. Okay, so back to Commander Zillion. They figured out the frequency pattern of these skeletal robots. They now have been able to determine where they are in dimension. So even if it's a dimension they don't know about, can they find it? Yes. Whoa. All right. And now that we know that, what's next? How do we find the computer they are being controlled by? We're not convinced yet that there is a one source of a computer. What this mission is today is to find out if we can see where they are getting their controls from. It's possible that each one of them is its own AI, but we doubt that. What we're suspicious of at this point is that there's multiple computers. There's a source AI for each intent of use for these robots. So in other words, if there is an intent that they make them super soldiers, there would be a source AI for that. If there is an intent that they are going to make them into some kind of builder robots, they use them for construction, there would be a source AI for that, and so on and so forth. That does make sense. That does make sense that they would need a different source.
Yeah, it does make sense. Yes.
And one AI source could direct all of the above as well. Yeah. Yep. Okay. All right. Oh, the monitors are working now. And we are starting to see, trying to distinguish what I'm seeing on this screen. They don't quite have them programmed in yet. That's why it's not making sense, Karen. Okay. I'm seeing the boxes, the long boxes that they came in that were like metal coffin kind of things. And then I'm seeing them sitting in rows. It's almost like they're turned off. They're just kind of hanging. But what's keeping them there? Good question, Karen. What we're determining is that there's a type of magnetic flow that holds them up. So it's like a magnetic source is their spinal column, where we have a spinal column and that goes through our vertebra. They have a magnetic source of energy that holds them up from falling over. It's their type of gravity.
So could that be a way that could be used to countermeasure them, is by taking advantage of that and creating that as a weakness?
Yes, if we can figure out how to penetrate it. There's a type of metal that is being used for these that is, we can't figure out. It's a unique blend, and it is very protective. Very, very protective. So there's teams working on that right now, Mark. Yes. We thought about if we could scramble that magnetic field, we can make them dysfunctional. You can literally make them fall apart. But we can't get through the metal at this time. It's some kind of a field. These are phenomenal construction. For as brilliant as Commander Zillion's teams are, their counter reptilian forces are just as brilliant. So we'll continue to look at that as a possibility.
They
just woke up. Whoa. They just started moving and woke up. Like, what? And stood up, like bolted upright. Something turned them on, right? That's what it looked like. Kelly's going to Ambassador Kassander, hoping that they were able to get the connection that made them do that. Whatever made them bolt upright and come alive, something was turned on. Hopefully we caught it. And we're all like hovering over, looking. Carrie and Suri are next to me. Oh, something just pinged on the screen. I don't know what that means, but something just went ding, 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 ding. I see a wave. I don't know how to read these monitors, guys. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. And so there's not dead air. Wow. I'm seeing what looks like the field, the quantum field. And there's like a wave pattern coming, like a light pattern coming through it to a source. And I think it's like pinging this box source. I think that represents the robots. I'm not looking at them anymore. I'm looking at a diagram, a working diagram. Okay, the light just went away. And, excuse me, the robots are just kind of hanging again, lifeless, but they're standing still. Huh. Okay, Galilee just came back to us. All right, so yes, we did catch a wave pattern that came into them. Not sure what it is yet. So we're going to hang out for a little bit longer to see if it happens again. There it goes. There it goes. Oh, we just saw it again. Oh, and the robots on the other screen are moving. They're marching. They're marching. It just stopped. And they stopped. It looks like they're activating their movements. Aha. Wow. So, would there be a different light source to get them to move in different ways? It appears so, Karen. They will most likely, their intent is to figure out each one. And then the best scenario I know to give you is your cartoons, where you have picture after picture after picture. But when you start to roll that, it looks like they're moving. It looks like animation. And they may be finding out the source code, so that if you just start to put source code after source code after source code, it creates a flow. And it will just flow into place. Gotcha. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting a lot of the information that Commander Zillion and his teams can really work with.
Yeah, if we can trace the signal. We're going to wait and see if we can get another hit so that we get even more code on it. Oh, it just happened. Oh, good. It just happened. And the robots are moving out of the room. They're walking out. So, Galaxy, what's hitting me about this is, I wonder if they use the same, or were they using the same source codes and light waves for each group, or are they different? exactly the question, Karen. And so we have 3 different ships right now. No, 3, 5? Oh, I'm seeing a lot more than that. We have ships in the different dimensions, monitoring each dimension. And this way, we'll pool all of that data and see if we can connect it, see if we feel that there's different vibrational codes being given to these beings. Then we'll have the comparisons. How are you triangulating all of them? Oh, we have multiple ways. So are there more Sophia dragons helping? We have dragons helping, we have the ancients helping, we have the unicorns helping. There's many, many ways to do this. But you work with the dragons, so we use the dragons when you are with us. Good to know. Wow.
I just love how the team has all come together. It's beautiful.
You mean the different types of beings and different dimensions?
Yeah, how our teams, the dragons, the unicorns, and the others are really working together to get this done.
Yes, all the dimensions are coming together. Very true. Very good point. All right. Oh, Ambassadr Kassander just said, we got it. We got it. We found a source. Whoa. Whoa. Time to get out of here. Awesome. I did not expect us to find a source today. Ellie's shaking his head, neither did I.
We have a good team working together, like we were just talking about.
Well, this is the computer code, so they weren't helping with finding the source, but yeah, we at least we found it. We'll find out with the other teams. All right, we're bracing ourselves. Here we go. We're taking off. Oh, we just went through a wormhole already? Great. Ah, we just went through 2 wormholes, guys. Yeah, that's what it does to my energy. Oh, and we're doing a quantum jump. Quantum jump is like hyperspeed. When you go into hyperspeed to quantumly move forward.
So how similar is this to the Star Trek analogy?
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's it. When you saw the ship kind of just disappear, yeah, that's what they show in Star Trek and Star Wars and Stargate Atlantis and all of those.
Yeah, one thing we got to remember in Star Trek, they had the Traveler that worked on a consciousness level and I think he was omnipresent consciousness that he was teaching with Will. I don't know, was it Will? The boy. And so he's teaching the Earth human.
On Star Trek?
Yep.
Oh, it must have been one of the movies, the later movies I didn't see. I'm thinking of the show and that.
It was in the Next Generation. And
I never saw those.
Yeah,
okay.
It was the doctor's son who had the unique ability, and the Traveler was the one who knew how to do it, and they worked with consciousness far beyond what any other human could perceive. But the boy, of course, he was getting older, was able to understand and work with. And so he was teaching the human how to do just that.
I'll have to watch those. I haven't seen them. So we're arriving and we're loading onto a ship right now, cargo hold. Galilee, are we on one of Commander Z's ships? Yep, he's waiting for us. Yay! We get to see Commander Z today. So, and there's Gilly. I love when I see her safe. Okay, she just landed, and she is getting immediate attention and food. I'm so thankful they love our dragons this much and take such good care of them. I think Gilly comes for the treats she gets and the attention she gets. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Mhm. All right, we are getting out of the shuttle. Now, do we have to go through that decontamination stuff again? Yes. We need to decontaminate from the field that we were just in. All right. Whew. So I'm decontaminating out of the shuttle. This is interesting. Usually I go through it before entering the ship, at the top of the cargo hold.
Do they also have to decontaminate the shuttle itself, like they've done before?
We didn't go into one of those fields, but that's a good question. I'm surprised because I was in the shuttle that I would have to do that. Still in the dark. What's going on here? Oh, they're putting a new film around me. Alrighty. Okay, now I'm walking out.
I love how thorough they are. It's amazing.
Yeah, yes. Well, it's amazing the knowledge they have about all of this, about the field. Okay, here comes Curry and Surrey and Villaim. They're all coming through it. Curry, Mark just had a question about the ship. Doesn't the ship have to be decontaminated? The film. When we went in, this film, not the film. The shield. The shield was a type of decontamination chamber. So we were shielded from the ship being contaminated. So that doesn't need to be decontaminated. No, we just had to let the shield down. Interesting. Wow, that's fascinating. Because we've had to go into those decontamination chambers for the ships before. Correct. Commander Z's team determined how to create a shield that decontaminated. Amazing. Unbelievable technology. Wow.
Yeah, the technology is incredible. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Commander Z will meet us upstairs so that he doesn't have to come out and decontaminate and go through all of that. Okay, great. Good. All right, we're all headed up a shuttle to get to... So what happens, guys, is I come in, I don't know that I've ever explained this. I come into these cargo holds, and then there's a shuttle that goes uphill that takes me to the top of the cargo hold and then around to the front of it, and that's what leads me into the meeting rooms and conference rooms. But the cargo hold is the lowest place, and then we have to go up. Now, sometimes there's an elevator, and the elevator decontaminates me. This particular ship, we're going up. Almost like you would see at the airports, those long people mover things, and then it turns and it goes in an L shape. It's an L shape. I hope that describes it better. So we are now at the top. Oh, shucks. They just put us in an decontamination chamber. We're getting a film, Karen, to support us in this space. You had one, but we don't. So we're all going through it together. At least this is not one of the ones that's ice cold. It goes to the bone. This one's I'm not even feeling. Yes, these are much easier. Okay, the door's opening. And there's our friend. Namaste. He's on his knees already with his hands up. Namaste, dear friend. Namaste. Namaste, my friends. Welcome.
Namaste.
Namaste to you, Mark, too. Okay. We are running down the hallway to keep up with his steps. His steps are 20 of mine. The teams are waiting. We are excited to hear this news. We have gotten good reports from every single shuttle that was out there. You have all been able to pick up signals. I will say adieu and move on to the stage. Thank you for coming. Thank you. So we are moving into our box seat. And for those of you who aren't aware, the box seats are they're enclosed areas that will provide the language translation that each team needs. Sometimes they provide the right oxygen levels, nutrient levels, things of that nature. I do believe that we have received the film for that. Is that right, Carrie? Yes, it is. So the box is needed for language purposes. Correct. And visual purposes. Every group, the different beings here of different species sometimes need to visualize things differently as well, depending on their eyes and how their vision system works. Wow, hadn't thought of that one. That's intriguing. So not every being has an iris then. They all have different ways of viewing the world around them. Yes, depending on the species, they do. The slit eyes work much differently than the pupils. I hadn't thought of that. Okay, the boxes are all filling up. I'm just looking around for the first time. Yes, there are many different species here I don't recognize. If I've seen them before, it's been at those huge meetings and I haven't focused in on them individually.
So Galilee, are they from this galaxy, this universe? How expansive is the group that is here and where their origins are from?
They are from multiple galaxies. That's a good question. Thanks, Mark. They are from multiple galaxies and all coming into this one. Commander Z had groups working in each galaxy where he found these skeletal beings. So that's why there's such a diversity here. And that tells you just how many locations there were, that we have this great of a diversity of species sitting here for this meeting. I just love the fact that Commander Z And his teams have been so well received by so many different species. I mean, considering the fact that the reptilians have controlled so many galaxies and universes, the fact that these beings trust a red reptilian and reptilian teams is amazing. It is, Karen. And what has helped is how many different species are on the bases. So Commander Z can literally go to these different groups with species from their galaxy. And that's why he's gained so much trust.
And
talk about oneness.
Right. And what to carry another step further, which I really love, is there's an organizational structure here, but also this is also used in a positive, supportive way for them to all to work collectively together and other positive, focused intentions. Which
Yes.
I love that other piece of it as well, which, I don't know if you can speak on that at some point.
Well, it goes hand in hand with what Karen was saying, too. You're both talking about the same thing. The fact that all of these species are coming together and we're working for one intent and purpose, the freedom of all beings, that is what is creating the potential for the golden age, the potential for the oneness of all that is. That's 5D and beyond, is that we all come together knowing that we all thrive together or we all die together. And that is what is being understood now, is that we need to come together and work together. It's what Karen keeps speaking about, too, to people around her and family and friends. The elite, those that are causing harm on the planet, is a handful. And they keep dividing and conquering by splitting you all up, complaining about each other. It used to be race. They used to be your color. And then it was religion. And now it's medical freedom versus, vaccinated, unvaccinated. It's one party versus another party. There's so many different factors. It's transgender versus not transgender, pro-life versus not pro-life. It's going on, and they keep dividing and conquering, dividing and conquering, dividing and conquering. That's been going on throughout the multiverses for centuries. This is the point in evolution that you have the ability to shift. And that's what is so amazing, what Mark just pointed out, is that all of these groups are coming together because together, that handful is pitilance. It's nothingness. It has no force, no power, no nothing. And when humans on Earth get that, when you all come together on one focus, and that's, again, the power of the movie Sound of Freedom. When you come together, doesn't matter what race, what color, what creed, what party, what freedom you're taking a stand for, when you all come together, that all children be safe and free from sexual abuse and harm, when you all come together on that one point, the elite will fall. They will not have power anymore. There, where you are. And you pointed it out. Yes, that's what Commander Z's teams have created. They came to that point. We intend for all species to be free. Next, after humanity gets to, we intend all children to be free. It's next that all beings be free. That's next.
So where is the progress on that on our planet, Earth, Terra? Where are we at now from all of that we've been speaking about?
Well, as we talked about earlier, there's a movement, there's a wave happening. And if it continues, you guys will thrive. It's a wave towards 5D. We can't tell you, are you at like 50%? Are you at 80%? No, we can't tell you that. It morphs. There's a huge door that is open. And now it's a matter for people to start walking through it. So, all right. Commander Z is coming to the podium. And thank you, Gary. He is calling to order the meeting. So here we go, guys. And up on the screen, he is showing the different shuttles and the different images of the feedback that we've gotten. Way cool. Way cool. There's a monitor for each shuttle. Woof! Isn't that great? And it's showing the patterns. They're different. Golly, they're different. Yeah, I just saw that too. So in other words, guys, what I'm seeing is that each shuttle got wave patterns. And I was expecting to see the wave patterns being the same for each location of the robots, but it isn't. They're all unique wave patterns. Commander Z is speaking. We are thrilled at the results of these, because what this is showing us is that there is no one standard wave pattern being used. What we're seeing here is that they have created multiple different wave patterns for each of these groups in each of these locations. We will now take this data and we will determine, we will research to see if we can determine what the purpose is for these wave patterns. It appears very dominantly that each of these robotic skeleton groups will be used for a different source, because these are distinctly different wave patterns that are being sent to them. Distinctly different movements, although the reaction to the robot was similar. They perked up, their eyes opened, they stood up all at the same time, which is also fascinating. But there was a different wavelength sent to each one of these. We have documentation about the magnetic structure of them. We have some knowledge about that. But based on these reports, it almost appears that the magnetic strip in each of these groups is different, requiring a different wave pattern. Very, very interesting information. We will certainly be busy researching this now that we have this information. This tells us what to do next. It tells us what to focus our intent on. Intent wasn't the right word. We will focus our studies and research in determining which of these wavelength patterns, what the purpose of the wavelength is. I truly believe we're going to be able to uncover that with some of the technology we have, some of the groups that we have that are researching this. I do believe that we'll be able to take this, that this is extremely valuable data, and we will be able to pinpoint and determine what the purpose of each of these are. Once we determine it, this might be a type of back engineering, because when we determine this wavelength, it will help us determine the magnetic strip. So we may be able to reverse engineer, so to speak, this information to be able to get to the source of the magnetic structure. We would very much like to be able to get one of these robots to break it down and determine the metal alloy of it. But that is too risky at this point. If one of those goes missing, they'll be able to trace it to us. So we can't do that at this time. But we're working on other methods to find the information. So thank you all for your work, for your support, for assisting with this. We feel confident that we will be able to stop this threat and find a solution to shut them down. So thank you all. We appreciate it. We'll be working with individual groups. I will be moving you each into the teams that are going to be breaking down and analyzing the data that you found. So you can give more information about what you determined and saw there. You will be individually guided to your conference rooms, and I thank you. We will go from here. Namaste, everyone. Great work. Namaste. And he took off. What? Okay.
That's really good news. That's really great news.
It is good news. It's fascinating, too. I honestly thought they were all going to look the same. All the wave patterns would look the same. So, Golly, back to Mark's question from earlier. Based on what we just saw, do you feel that there's one AI controlling all of this, or multiple source AIs that are working with each group of robots? Honestly, Karen, I'm still asking myself that question as well. Curry, what's your instincts on this one? It's a 50-50. It could go either way. It could be individual, or it could be one.
Mm.
You know what's going to be interesting? Hold on, Mark. Did you guys notice the timestamp of these was the same source code sent? Were all the source codes sent at the same time? Because if they were all sent at the same time, then it would make sense that there's different AI sources. But if they were sent at different intervals, then one AI source could have sent to this group, and then sent to that group, and then sent to this group, and then sent to that group. Did anybody notice that? What the timestamp was? 3. I was trying to look for that, and I'm not sure that I saw what the right thing, but it appeared to me that they were different time intervals. Korea is saying that's a really good point. I didn't look for it. Kelly,
Yep.
I will ask Ambassador Kassander. I do not know. That is an excellent point, Sari. Thank you for looking at that. You can ask Villaim and Ambassador Kassander. That'd be great. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, another piece is that once they actually put the outer skin, if you will, whether it be biosynthetic or whatever, they want it to look like and function as, that will determine a lot more details as to their true intention and programming, and how that will vary from group to group. So, and the fact that we need to be able to make sure that we will be able to tell that they are one of these, even when they have that, like a mask on, or that biosynthetic skin, if you will, to give them the look for what that purpose and mission will be and what its function role will be at that point.
Yes, Mark. And to date, you're absolutely right. To date, they haven't put anything on these skeletons. So we don't know any of that information yet. That's why we're hoping that we can figure out the source codes before they go to that step in the evolution of these skeletons, and that we can stop it before they get there.
Yeah, because I felt that was a very important piece to bring up.
Yes. All right. They are walking me back. Are you guys all going back, or are you going to the meeting? We are. Galilee, we'll take her back. We'll meet you in the meeting. You go ahead. Oh, good. Thank you. All right. Goodbye, Galilee. Goodbye, Mark.
I love you all.
Galilee's taking off. He's going to the meeting. He wants to talk to Ambassadr Kassander and Villaim about what we just mentioned. And Kari and Suri are walking me back to the cargo hold. So while we're walking back, guys, I want to just thank everybody for being here and for being part of this Awakenings family, for sharing this information. Know that you're sharing it, you liking it, you subscribing, providing comments, feedback, all matters in expanding this conversation. Please, by all means, if you haven't seen the movie Sound of Freedom, please see it. It's exceptionally well done. It's well written, acted, and directed. And most importantly, I didn't think I could see this movie because of being such a powerful empath, I thought it would rip my heart apart. It's a beautiful story about courage, about love of family, brother and sister, about intent and focus, about trusting God's path, about standing for what you believe in, and about children being freed. It's brilliantly done to tell you about a heinously satanic practice and business, but it's done in a way that is a heartwarming story and leaves you hopeful at the end. So I want to get that point across really powerfully because that matters. Tim Ballard, the true life hero, insisted that it be done that way. It's about the heroes, the children. It's about their commitment to each other and families. And so they really honored that quite well. Okay, we are back in the cargo hold. I am back at Gilly. And thank you, Kari and Suri. Thank you so much. Do you have a parting message for our listeners and for us? We do. We thank you all. Always remember to include us in any of your intents and any of your practices and meditations. Please remember to include us. Remember to include the benevolent elementals and the ancients and all the teams that you have met through Karen and Mark's work. Remember to include all of us in your meditations for Earth and anything else. We will empower and amplify to a far greater synergistic force the intent you have and the purpose you want to create when you include us. So please always remember that. We are here for you. As you can see, this was a perfect example today of how greatly the multiverses are working together for the freedom of all. And that's what we want to leave you with. The message is the freedom for all. Very important message. Very important. So, we love you all. We are thrilled that you're a part of our family as well. And we take our leave. Namaste. Namaste. Go ahead, Mark.
Namaste. Namaste. And, we love and support all of our listeners and their journeys and their important part in this co-creation for the freedom and ascension, not only on our planet Earth, Terra, but how they are connected to the greater whole of creation through the quantum field of love, of the essence of creation itself, and the sacred holy space within that, which we are all can be within consciously, and co-create with all the inner Earth, Anshar, and all the others, as well as the Andromeda Council and other galactics that are supporting us and our freedom and ascension on all levels of creation and throughout the multiverse.
Amen, namaste, and aho. We'll be back next month. In the meantime, go and celebrate freedom for all. Bye for now.